The Pioneer format is currently dominated by cards printed in 2019, with decks such as Giant Sacrifice, Naya Winota, Nifty Light, and Team Erek. However, there is a deck that has an opportunity to rise from the ashes and make a triumphant return. Izzet Phoenix is a spellslinger deck focused around returning Arclight Phoenix from the graveyard to the battlefield. Fanging Ice is the company of choice, as Fanging Ice helps reset board states from creature decks that do not need to attack to win the game. Izzet Phoenix is filled with cheap spells that are able to draw cards, interact with the opposing creatures, and put Arclight Phoenix into the graveyard. With the deck able to fill the graveyard very fast, Izzet Phoenix is the best Treasure Cruise deck in the format. Treasure Cruise has been banned in other internal formats with fetch lands. Fortunately, Pioneer doesn't have fetch lands, so the card is not as busted. However, the real strength of Izzet Phoenix comes from the sideboard, as the deck is able to transform into an Arclight Phoenix control deck by adding more removal or more counter magic. Enough about the deck, let's take it into a match and see how it performs. We won the die roll, so I'll choose to play first. Our opening hand looks. Let's see how our opening hand is. Opening hand is pretty bad. No lands, easy mulligan. They're a Yurion strategy, which there's a few of those in this format. So they could be either Esper, Jeskai, or Jeskai. Those are two common Yurion piles. But this hand looks pretty good. I'm going to put back this Lightning Axe. That's the card that often does the least in these kind of matchups. We're on the play, so we're going to lead with Mountain. Make them think we're doing something else, and then we'll pass the turn. We're probably just going to... Okay, so they're likely Jeskai. So, we're going to be holding up the Izzet Charm along with Present Brawl on the next turn, but this turn we're just going to strategic planning, which is going to like let them know what's up. Because it is Jeskai, Finging Ice is actually not very good against Teferi, so I'm actually just going to bottom it, or bin it, and keep this opt. We're looking for birds. We don't want to get caught underneath a Narset either, so we'll try not to. This is an Omen of the Sea? Oh, what's going on here? Interesting. Our opponent's doing something interesting here. But I'm pretty sure we're just going to be flashing a Brazen Borrower. Now I kind of wish I had the Lightning Axe. They could just be good old fashioned see if they attack. They do not attack. So we're going to flash in this guy. I don't know how much it's worth to actually attack into it, but we will be looking for like a Lightning Axe. We did bottom one, so let's see what it's... Oh, look at that. We found one. We could Lightning Axe now. Hold up Izzet Charm, and I think that's the right play. We're going to discard a Chart a Course. We're not going to Chart a Course after combat. We're just going to hold up this Izzet Charm and hope that this Brazen Borrower is good enough to get there. They're likely a Fires deck, so this Izzet Charm is going to be pretty valuable too. They just had a Never Granted. Alright, that might be our problem. Alright, we're not going to do anything here. We could be really aggressive here. And I think we might. Nah, we'll just pass the turn. We'll make them act. So they could just be an Izzet Fires deck, and I think that's kind of interesting. End step, we're probably just gonna Petty Theft their thing back to their hand. We're gonna attack for 2. They are missing our attack for 3, sorry. And then we're going to Chart a Course to draw 2 cards. We did find an Arclight Phoenix, so we're going to play a Shivan Reef. If they don't do anything, like it's a Charmable, we're just going to flash in Brazen Borrower. Oh, so they are Jeskai, okay. Jeskai with Fate of Wishes, interesting. Is this worth countering? I wonder what they get here. I'm not comfortable enough to know what's in the Jeskai sideboards. So they could be getting an Anger the Gods. They could be getting a Thought Distortion. I think I'm okay with this. They have to reveal what they get, so I don't know what they're getting. Tormod's Crypt, that's fine. Tormod's Crypt is definitely a very beatable magic. Very beatable for us. So I'm very glad we didn't counter the Granted. Because we're just going to swam in Arclight next turn. They could have Wrath, which would be pretty, like a Supreme Verdict. That would be pretty devastating for us. So if they have Supreme Verdict, they pop this, we basically have nothing. So I'm just going to play a land. I'm banking on the fact they don't have, that they do have Supreme Verdict. And if they do, I don't want to lose the Phoenix for nothing. A Treasure Cruise at any point would also be pretty nice. Alright, Deafening Clarion. Sure. Okay, cast their Fate of Wishes. We're just not going to do anything here. I think we're just going to play the thing in the ice. Yeah, we can play Thing in the Ice. Yeah, our life was not in duress, so we'll just have to do basics. So if we find a Treasure Cruise here, then we're in a good spot. That's all we're looking for is a Treasure Cruise. I will take the Scions. Scions is a good draw here. Plus discard. Hoping to find a land so we don't have to discard anything relevant. Now this is interesting. If we discard the Phoenix, they just pop the graveyard, we lose the Phoenix for no value. Because we are tapped out, I'm just gonna put the Izzet Charm to the graveyard. This Treasure Cruise is going to be often good enough. They could have Fires and then something else, but they could also just cast their Urian. They could also just be threatening to die this turn. Oh, but the Fairy is quite problematic. See if they tucked the Teferi. Oh, they tucked the thing in the ice. Got it. That's an interesting play. I guess they're just concerned that we just kill him next turn. Alrighty then. We're just going to start off with Treasure Cruise. See where that leads us. They didn't pop this, so not too concerned there. We can play a bird. We're gonna attack to the Fairy for 5 after we plus the Scions. Then we're just gonna play a Fig in the Ice. This kills the Fairy even with them blocking. Because of first strike and trample. Alright, let's see what... Then we're going to play this thing nice and just pass. We're in a good spot here. Again, they could have Urian, and it would be a world of hurt. But having Scions here, pressure, and like we just got to fade a Narset. But even Narset's not that big of a problem, since we have the Scions to hopefully try to pressure and damage. We do know they have their companion in hand. The Fairy's a little annoying, but that's okay. This might be an instant speed verdict, so we do have to play around that. Quicken's kind of cute, but it's not good enough here. We're gonna pump here and then attack. Attack them. Try to get some damage onto them. We're just gonna sandbag some lands. Here comes the verdict that they pestered the Fairy for. This is fine. Now they have to find a way to stop our Scions. This makes me want to play this land though, because I'm going to be hard casting that Phoenix next turn. Let's see if they pop their Torment script. They did not. Alright, so they still have a Urian. Urian's gonna have a problem. They can draw a card. But like, I guess we shouldn't. We're drawing 4, so like if they can't deal with the Scions, then they are dead. Yeah, I got nothing. You have the Fairy in play, I got nothing. Yep, there goes my Phoenix. Or one of my Phoenixes. So they could play Urian and try to like bounce, but they're just dead to Scions. Scions does 7 damage right now, unless they have a Narset. Narset does stop the ultimate. That's why we sandbagged a Phoenix, so we could play the Phoenix plus the Scions. Scions then attacks the Arclight, or attacks down the Narset. So yeah, that was a good example of game 1. We just kind of sequence our threats. In this matchup, we just want like disdainful strokes. We just want to be more mid-range. Take out some of our removal spells. To even take out our Thing in the Ices. Because they're going to be boarding in cards for it. I could see myself keeping in 2 Thing in the Ice. I want to take out some Wild Slashes. Wild Slash is like not very good in this matchup. Wild Slash is only good for killing like planeswalkers that down tick pretty low, but like if my opponent plays pretty heads up, then it's hard to catch them off guard like that. So I'll keep in 2 Thing in the Ices because it looked like they had a hard time actually dealing with Thing in the Ice. We're gonna keep this hand. There's a lot of things we like, so we're just gonna keep it. Yield for this. Alright, we're doing alright for ourselves, I would say. We wouldn't mind finding lands though. This Rest in Peace. My opponents need to so Rest in Peace is good against Treasure Cruise and Arclight Phoenix, but we can also just hard cast our Arclight Phoenixes in this matchup, so I'm not too concerned. We're going to keep a land. I mean, it does suck that we have a Treasure Cruise in hand, but at the end of the day, we have like Izzet Charms to cycle it away. So, it's not the end all be all. Also, Crackling Drake doesn't care about cards being in exile or not. Nice. My opponent started off with an Izzet mana base. Now they're starting off with a blue-white mana base. What are the chances they just like switched? I will say, Quicken into Treasure Cruise is cute. I just don't want that around. If they have the sweep back, then that's fine. Not too worried. Nice, we drew a Never Dispute. I'm going to shock here. We get to hold up 2 pieces of counter magic. Then hopefully we can just slam our Crackling Drake after. Their mana base is not working out for them. Yeah, I'll counter this one. They're kind of struggling a bit with like finding stuff to do. And then I'm just going to quicken to draw a card. There's the Arclight Phoenix that we were talking about. See if we find a land. Nope, so we just pass. Yeah, finding a land there to like play a Crackling Drake or playing an Arclight Phoenix there when they're a little like tight on mana. This is another Dawn for Dreams. I might. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. Shark Typhoon. That is not a card I was expecting here. I mean, it's honestly good. They found the red mana. Alright, so Arclight Phoenix looks pretty bad against nice. The one of 4 top lands in our deck at this point. It's not looking too great there. Just a fires. Yeah, we're going to counter the fires. If they have a dispute back, then they have dispute back, and that's fine. Yep, I'll take 2. There's an island, so we could hold up our own dispute. This is pretty good. Strategic Planning is not exactly the card we want to see here, but it's okay. So our Drake is now bigger than their Shark. We will counter this. We're still like trying to fade a Nurset, but this just like being the stone cold nuts against us would be unfortunate. Alright, we'll attack for our 6 and see what's up. So we did go through, I believe, all of our disputes. 1, 2, 3, yeah, so no reason to commit anything else to the board here. We're just going to try to find something. And I like the one we found. Kind of wish we did this before, but that's okay. We'll make good use of it now by probably getting rid of this Treasure Cruise. Alright, so this Crackling Drake is likely to go into distance. It's attacking for 11 at least next turn. It's a verdict. You kind of have to keep answering. Yeah. The verdict here is good. It is what it is. So my opponent has 2 cards and they don't have their companion in their hand yet. Oh, that's interesting. So we're going to play an Arclight Phoenix. We're actually going to pump here to start getting damage in. Then we're going to draw 2 cards. Drawing cards is pretty good. We're kind of at the mercy of our of what our opponent does based on what we're doing. But I think just like getting ahead. Well, kind of getting ahead. Again, we just got to dodge a Nurset. Big Teferi is a problem. If they down tick on the Scions, then yeah. I don't want to put anything else into a verdict. Actually, no, they. So I'm gonna play another Phoenix here. One Phoenix kills Teferi, the other to kill is text them. We're gonna draw 2 cards, which gets our Scions back into our hand. So I'm feeling pretty good here. Play this tapped. So they have to have a Wrath here. Right now that's 8 damage in the air. And we're doing a good job of killing their Planeswalkers. Just a Wrath. Nope, it's just enough to Fairy. Big 5-mana Teferi is not as scary from Jeskai Fires, so I think we're doing okay. Like they're just buying time here at this point. Like we can play this. We're gonna target here. I know they're dead in 2, but I just don't want them having a Teferi in play. Also, like I don't see a reason to draw a discard. So they have to. We're forcing them to have a Wrath here, or they're dead. Hey, we're attacking from multiple angles here, so I'm feeling pretty good about this game. Cycle over 0, you got it. They're really needing to find that Wrath. That's pretty good. I think this is just a concede here. Yep, cool. And that's how you get. And that's how the Jeskai Fires matchup goes. Felt pretty clean. We did not see any Narsets that game. Narset is definitely a problem for our deck. But like as long as you're aware of that and you don't like lose to a turn 3 Narset, it's okay. Like we easily beat a Rest in Peace on turn 2, and it wasn't particularly close. In conclusion, Izzet Phoenix may not be the best deck in the format. However, with good format knowledge and a solid approach to specific matchups, can make the deck a contender in the format. Let me know what you think about Izzet Phoenix and Pioneer. Also, let me know if you enjoy this approach to Magic content, especially with Pioneer. But that's all for me today. Take care.